Lady Charmaine, and my guest today is an actor, comedian, director, and medical doctor. He starred in such movies as Knocked Up, Transformers 3, The Hangover 2, and most recently, Ride Along 2. And he's here today to talk about his very own television show, Dr. Ken. Help me welcome Ken Jeong to the show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. And I recently just had Tisha Campbell on the show, and she spoke so highly of you and the cast, and she said you were such a great person to work with. So I just want to make sure that I let you know that I know I'm speaking to a great person today.
Wow, you're too kind. It is Tisha who is great. She is just one of my all-time favorite actors in the world, and now that I've worked with her for a full year, she's just one of my favorite people in the world. So It is Tisha who is great, not me.
See, now that's spoken by a very humble man. So thank you for sharing that. And Ken, you are a medical doctor and you attended prestigious schools and you was moonlighting as a stand-up comic. Now, was being a comedian something that you always wanted to do?
No, ma'am. I mean, to be honest, what I wanted to do was when I was in college, I got the acting bug and I wanted to act. And once I was at Duke, went there undergrad. But once I got into med school, I couldn't do any more theater acting, and I decided I had to do something. I still had the performing bug, and I had an itch that I needed to scratch. So I started doing stand-up comedy just once every few months at like local bars, that did like open mic nights, and I just kind of kept that up as a hobby over the next 7 years, and eventually I moved out to LA and got an agent, got on TV and got a movie playing doctor, ironically in Knocked Up, and then that led to The Hangover, which then led to Dr. Ken. So it was kind of this roundabout way, and you just never knew where life was gonna take you. I did not know it would take me to this level at all, and this is. Even my own show is just kind of beyond my dreams. So it's been very, like you said, it's been a very eye-opening, surreal journey.
Because I know I was reading that you did a comedy competition, and just so happened the comedy competition was judged by an NBC president and improv founder who also urged you to move to Los Angeles now. Yeah, and so did you just quit your job and pack up and move to Los Angeles because they encouraged you?
No, I actually went to L.A. I did the open mic. I did the winner got to perform at the Hollywood Improv, and then I went back and completed my medical training, and then 2 years later I moved out to L.A.
Okay.
So at that point, I really liked being a doctor too, and I really liked where I trained, and I decided to finish up my training and then go out to L.A.
Ken, I saw Ride Along 2, which was hilarious. You are such a fantastic actor. It's like you are in your lane. When people get in their lane, and you know it.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
I really appreciate that. It was an honor. It was an honor being alongside Ice Cube and Kevin Hart, and it was Cube who actually called me and said, "Would you like to be in the movie?" It was as simple as that in the world of Ice Cube, and I was in the movie, so just so grateful. I also would like to take the time to talk about my own show really briefly, which is based on my life as a doctor and also as a married father of two. The episode that will air tomorrow is my favorite episode, not only in the Dr. Ken series, but it's one of my favorite things I've ever done. As a physician, I took care of a lot of cancer patients, and my wife also is a breast cancer survivor. She's still cancer-free after 7 years, thank goodness. And tomorrow's episode is based on that. Is Ken's favorite patient, who's a comedian, is on the show. His cancer has returned, and he wants to do one final comedy show, and Ken won't let him because his cancer has returned, and he's trying to find a way to help the patient. And it's easily the best Dr. Ken episode ever, and it's a very emotional, heartfelt, and genuine episode. And like I said, it's one of the best things I've ever done in my career. You'll laugh and you'll cry. You'll laugh and you'll cry out of this episode, and I'm so passionate about it that I just wanted to tell you and to kind of tell the viewing audience just to watch it, because I really do think it's a very special one.
So did you say your wife, your actual wife,
Yes, ma'am. My wife's a breast cancer survivor. Yes, ma'am.
Wow, what a blessing. What a blessing. Because we know that when you're dealing with, because my mother, May 5th will be a year because she had cancer last year. So if anyone out there, if you've ever dealt with anyone dealing with cancer, my best friend, dealing with cancer as well, but she's doing good. She has stage 4, but she's doing very well. You know that this is going to be a very important episode. And thank you so much for sharing that with us, because this is a real personal story for you.
Yes. There's a lot of, and it was difficult to even shoot because there's, every day I'd be crying when I'd, be shooting this particular episode. It was a very emotional one. So, but it was very cathartic, and it was very, it was again, just one of the best things I've ever done. So.
Did your wife get a chance to be on the set as you were shooting some of these scenes?
Yes. She was on the set. So it was very nice.
What was it like for her?
Well, it was very emotional. And again, it wasn't completely based on her. It was really, what I like about this particular episode, it was based on, also the writer used his own experiences, having loved ones with cancer. And what is amazing about this particular episode, it doesn't feel like, oh, this is a Ken Jeong personal episode. It feels like it was written for the viewer. And that's what makes it even more special. It's not truly based. This episode is not truly based on exactly from my life, and it's become more than that. And I'm also a producer on the show and a writer on the show as well. So I was involved in the editing of the episode and the execution of it. So it was pretty amazing. So
I could see you were personally invested in this episode. I could see that.
I'm personally invested in all the episodes, but this one,
yes,
by far the most, because of the subject material that was done.
Yes. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, and I want to make sure that everyone tune in Friday night.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, on ABC, and check out this very touching and emotional episode of Dr. Ken. Thank you so much, Ken Jeong, for coming on the show. Make sure you tune in 8:30 to 9 p.m. on ABC Friday night. Again, thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.